Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Find Out What's in Pelenta's Forrest. And like I always tell you, what do I say? Don't believe everything you hear, and check your facts, do your own research. What that means is, don't believe everything you hear me say. God, don't you want to know what my butterflies are saying? What? Don't you want to know what my butterflies are talking? This is Find Out What's in Pelenta's Forrest. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What? I know. I keep telling you guys, I can't help it. I've got to act crazy. And I've got some news. So check it out. Oh my gosh, I know, it is so stupid, but it feels so damn good. It makes my head hurt. Is it enough? All right, everybody. What's crackin'? Crack-a-lackin'. Move on with some news. That's what I'm going to do. Move on with some news. All right. That was 3 minutes of just acting like a fool. So, what's happening, people? How are you doing? What is going on in your life? Do you have some good news to brag about? Do you? Well, I'm glad. Brag away. Sometimes it's good to brag because, of course, you're always going to have somebody out there that gets a little jealous. But plenty of times when you brag about your good news, you put a smile on somebody else's face because it gives them hope for their future. When they see somebody happy and they have it going on, they don't necessarily get jealous and talk smack about you in a group behind your back. They are actually happy for you. And without you knowing it, behind their back, or behind your back, they're not talking smack. They're actually giving you a thumbs up. So anyway, moving right along, what we're going to be talking about tonight is the legalization of marijuana, lobbying, and humans, the biggest germ on this planet. So, without further ado, hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining me. So we're going to start off with marijuana legalization. Campaign sues over ballot arguments. Now, I started this in episode, I think, 51, and I didn't finish it. I didn't have time. But it says here, the California campaign to legalize recreational marijuana filed a lawsuit Thursday in Sacramento Superior Court asking a judge to disallow several of what it deems false or misleading statements submitted by opponents as their official ballot arguments. Now, of course, already, just with the false or misleading, you already know that the biggest problem here is people that are not properly weed educated, and they're making a great big stink, and they're throwing all the demonizing, ignorant arguments into marijuana being awful for you, you know. So anyway, ballot arguments which appear in the voter information guide are important because few voters have the time or interest to read an entire measure. It's like reading this article. It's going to take half the show. You know, so while there are often disputes over language, pot versus cannabis versus weed versus marijuana, what makes this wonderful, helpful herb sound more smart? Is it cannabis? I don't know. But it's uncommon for campaigns to seek court interventions. Now, Tim Rosales, he's a spokesman for the opposition campaign. He dismissed the claims as silly, seasonal political stunts born of desperation and suggested that they may challenge misstatements of facts by the pro-legalization side. Now, Secretary of State Alex Padilla said legal challenges over measures on the November 8th ballot must be completed by August 15th. So that was last month. I hope they have all their ducks in a row. The proponents want a judge to reject or order substantial amendments to a number of arguments against Proposition 64. Now, this will be including the contention that children would be exposed to advertisements promoting marijuana as gummy candy and brownies. Now, just hold on just a second. Now, you're worried about what our innocent children are going to see? Them watching the news is enough to scar them for the rest of their lives. You want to talk about the subliminal messages in the Walt Disney movies that promote witchcraft and magic? Hello? I'm not saying they're horrible movies. I'm just telling you the truth. You know, and then when you go into the grocery store, if you're an alcoholic, some grocery stores, okay, now I'm an alcoholic. I'm not, but I'm an alcoholic and I have to go and get some dang bread. Well, the bread is right next to the beer that I'm trying to stop drinking. So you're talking about kids are going to think it's gummy candy and brownies. Well, most adults that are recovering drug addicts or sober alcoholics or in AA, they didn't necessarily start their addiction by thinking that Malibu rum was vanilla milkshake. You know, I mean, come on, if you want to talk smack, let's tell the truth in all the facts here, okay? Jason Kinney is a spokesman for the legalization campaign, and he said that the fall measure bars the sale of marijuana products designed to be appealing to children or easily confused with traditional candy. Okay, now, first of all, I understand if you're talking about little e-cigs in the liquor stores, whatever, we're talking about marijuana, and most marijuana now most of it's purchased by people that have a card that actually go to a wellness center and get their pot. And they're not taking 6-year-olds in there with them to look at the edibles that look like Jolly Ranchers so they can go home and eat the Jolly Rancher and overdose on THC. You know, come on. See, this is what I'm talking about. You demonize this stuff. You put all this stupid poison and nonsense in people's heads. It's ridiculous. All parents are not irresponsible. Now, like in my other video, I said parents don't watch their kids. What I should have said was some parents don't watch their kids. I might have actually said some, I don't know, but you know there are parents out there that are very good parents. And if they have a medical cannabis card for their medical, their medical malfunction or diagnosis, they're responsible enough to keep it out of the reach of children, just like any other medicine. So you got to come up with a better argument than this, mister. So proponents also take issue with arguments that the measure would repeal consumer protections passed last year and signed into law by Governor Jerry Brown, and that it would also roll back the complete ban of smoking ads on TV. Well, you know what? No matter what you do, no matter how you guide your children, we are going to turn 18 eventually, okay? And we're going to do what we want to do no matter what your ads say. And now that you've created something that you've gotten us all hooked on, now you're mad at us and you want to snatch it away. Yes, cigarette campaign, I'm talking to you. Because you know exactly what I'm saying is true. Anyway, more so than any that I've seen in recent memory, Kinney said in the statement that the opponents fundamentally and factually misrepresent this ballot measure and are riddled with obvious falsehoods. And that is true because you people have your weed, marijuana, cannabis, education from watching stupid movies like Reefer Madness. Oh my God, who is going to smoke 1,000 joints in 1 hour? Who is going to smoke 20 joints in 1 hour? You guys are off the hook. So these are, with this obvious falsehoods, these are evidence-based arguments that are scare tactics. Thank you. Yes, they are scare tactics, and they are sadly reminiscent of the recent Reefer Madness style disinformation campaigns that I just said that are subverted honest dialogue around this issue for decades. You know, let's be honest here, people. In a statement rebutting the arguments, the Proposition 64 campaign, which is supported by billionaire entrepreneur Sean Parker and Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, contends federal law bans tobacco smoking advertisements on television and makes it illegal to use TV broadcasts to plug the sale of marijuana. Now, hold on a second. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? It just said that federal law bans tobacco smoking advertisements on television. How many times? Okay, maybe they're not flat out advertising Camel or Cool cigarettes, but how many times in soap operas and in movies do you see people smoking? That's advertising it right there. That's broadcasting it. Seeing someone on TV is broadcasting it, you know, and then the broadcasts are plugging the sale of marijuana. I have not seen a commercial on television yet that is telling me that there is a sale on Girl Scout cookie, Alien OG, Space Queen down at the corner store. Has anybody else? 'Cause I haven't. But anyway, it says, and rather than repeal, the proponents assert their measure builds on the sweeping medical marijuana guidelines signed last year by Jerry Brown. So you see, we still have this issue over marijuana. Okay? Now, when I say we're talking about marijuana, that good herb, I'm talking about, hold on. I'm talking and yelling like crazy. I'm talking about the marijuana that grows right out of the ground. Okay? You'll keep the female plant for hemp, use it for material, teas, whatever. You'll keep the female plant, flower it, grow it, make your wax, your shatter, is, just whatever. But, it's a natural herb. I don't even know why it's in the drug category. Now, of course, I'm not telling everybody to go out and smoke weed. If you are able and if you are of age, then yeah. But I'm not telling nobody that's 16 or 17 to go out and do it. But, people have illnesses that only the CBD actually can help, assist with the pain and stuff. Because you have OxyContin, you have Vicodin, you have Norco, you have Tylenol with codeine. I mean, that stuff, slowly but surely, over time, it is eating your liver like it's a hamburger. I know that's graphic, but seriously, it is. So anyway, moving right along. Wait a minute. We're talking about some big money here, so I gotta do it. Check this out. Check this out. This is an article I found called By the Numbers. Total lobbying bills top $72 million. Now, labor unions, oil interests, utility companies, and other groups, guess how much they spent? $72.3 million to influence California officials from April 16 through June, not April 16th, but April 2016 through June 2016. The California State Council of Service Employees topped the list, forking out forking out nearly $1.8 million on lobbyists and other payments to influence lawmakers as they pass the state budget. And guess what it is? A package of tobacco regulations and a bill to raise minimum wage. Now, you see how funny that is? Now, I just got through talking about cigarette smoking in this article in the whole 9 yards, and what are they doing? They have to put aside a budget and a package of tobacco regulations. They're not talking about getting rid of tobacco, as bad as it is for us. They're talking about keeping it around and regulating it. Do you hear that verbiage, those words? Do you hear how they trick you? You know, it's like the right hand, the good hand, the red one, doesn't know what the blue one is doing. Yeah, that's why I keep telling you people, you got to pay attention to your words in these little articles. So, Western States Petroleum Association, which often spends more money than any other outside group, they wrote checks totaling $1.1 million during the sixth quarter of the 2015 and the 2016 session. Now look at AT&T is also involved in this. So check this out. AT&T paid lobbyists nearly the same amount while decision makers struck deals to reform the California Public Utilities Commission, which regulates the company. Now you see, when you hear people saying things like, you know, we're all connected and everything is connected, you need to listen to that, because we are, excuse me, and it is, if you really start to listen, synchronicity and coincidence, it'll start to make sense. And you know, Magic Man, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, here's another interesting article that I came across, and it says, lawful owners don't commit most gun crimes. Now, this is about gun safety, because I know there's a lot of you out there that are, is it pro Second Amendment, meaning you're for the Second Amendment? Like, what did it say in Men in Black and Charlton Heston? You'll take my gun from my cold dead hands. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, because, you know, there's guns get out. Not get out. Guns get out. They just get up and they just run out the door. But what I mean is, guns get stolen. They get misplaced. You know, your house burns down. You can't find the gun. It's up under this rubble. Some scoundrel, rubbishing person comes through and they get it. But the bottom line is, you know, lawful gun owners don't commit. It says most crimes. Actually, most lawful gun owners don't commit any crimes. That's the whole point of being lawful. So this article here says, lawful gun owners commit less than a fifth of all gun crimes, according to a novel analyst released this week by the University of Pittsburgh. In the study led by epidemiologist, did I say that right? Epidemiologist. Epidemiologist, thank you. Anthony Fabio of Pittsburgh Graduate School of Public Health researchers partnered with the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police to trace the origins of all 893 firearms that police recovered from crime scenes in the year of 2008. You see, this has been going on for a long time. They found that in approximately 8 out of 10 cases, the perpetrator was not a lawful gun owner, but an illegal gun owner where the gun belonged to somebody else other than him. You know, and it says that the researchers were primarily interested in how these guns made their way from a legal purchase from a firearms dealer or via private sale to the scene of a crime. So all guns start out as legal guns. And like they say, guns don't commit crimes, people do. But more than 30% of the guns that ended up at crime scenes had been stolen, according to this research here. But more than 40% of those stolen guns weren't reported until police contacted them, you know, when the gun was used in a crime. So, you know, and I don't know why, for some reason, people don't like to report their gun stolen. I think maybe it's because they think that they're not going to get the gun back. But as you can see, all cops aren't bad, people. All people aren't bad. All people aren't racist. Everybody is not judging you based on your skin color, your sex, your beliefs, or your, you know, or whatever. If you sleep upside down, I'm not judging you. I love you. And we should all love each other. We are here to help each other, support each other, make each other better. Stop the hate. Stop the racism. Be nice to somebody. And on that note, we're going to get on out of here with my favorite tune, number 16. Thank you so much for watching me. I surely appreciate it. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can go to my website, pelentaforrest.com. I have some statues there that I painted. They look really cool. You might want to go and check them out. But, you know, stay blessed, stay loving, say a kind word to somebody. And on that note, I am so very grateful for everything. And I am also grateful for you too. So go out into the world and make somebody's day better. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.